Hey, shalom, shalom, Yasha'Allah world. I'm Brother Ezekiel.
And I'm Brother Yosef.
And we are definitely back at it. It's been a minute. Some things was going on and stuff, but we're back at it. We're back on part 4 of a highest love, or the most highest love, Yah's love, versus hippie love. Okay? So we're pretty much giving the understanding of what the difference is between what you've been taught through emotional love and what you've been taught through an action of love and according to the Most High in His Word. So we're just showing and prove how you gain love from the Most High by showing Him by doing the work and the will, which is keeping His law, statute, and commandments. Okay? So this is what we're showing today. But we're going to pick up here in the book of Romans chapter 13, and we'll start at verse 1.
The book of Romans chapter 13. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High.
So let every soul be subject unto the higher Elohims, for there is no Elohim but of El, or the Most High, meaning the Most High is the only power. That's the power we need to be subject to. And the way to be subject to is to be submissive to Him. That's why when you hear Muslims say, Muslims just means one who
submits to the will of God.
Right. He who submits himself to the will of the Most High. So with that being said, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So if you submit yourself to the Most High, then you must do everything He asks you to do. Whether He talks to you face to face, by dreams, or by other men or women, prophet or prophetess. And according to that, you know what to do. Well, hopefully you know what to do to try these individuals to know how they're a prophet or prophetess by going through the law of Deuteronomy 18 and 18. Okay? But anyways, continue out. Verse 3.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High.
So whoever resisteth the power. Now it says, notice it says power, singular. It doesn't say power. So if we read this in Hebrew, it had been El or Al, which is basically the one. Okay? So if you resisting this power, as it says, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. So therefore, if a man is telling you or a woman is explaining to you, hey brother, hey sister, you breaking one of God's laws. You shouldn't be doing. You can't be doing this. And they have factual proof that you're doing this, and you have an issue with that individual. Once again, you're not resisting that person. You are definitely resisting the Most High. So it's shown and proved right there, and it says this in the in the whole book. Okay, so you showing that you don't have love for the Most High. That He's showing that He has love for you. He's sending these individuals in your way to correct you, so therefore you are righteous in His eyes. Okay? But go ahead.
And they that resist, I'll start that over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Plain and simple. You're going to receive damnation. I don't even need to go into the so-called Old Testament to show and prove you curses. We showed you all the curses back in part 3 of this lesson. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15 through 68. That's damnation on you. Okay?
Them curses.
All that is going to come upon you because you resisting what the Most High says, because you feel what you think should be right, or what you deem is righteous, or how you want to feel or do whatever you want to do and things like that. It don't work like that. You can't serve that power, because now the master that you're serving is yourself. You're not serving the master, which is the Most High. You're going to love one and hate the other. You can't serve two masters, like what the Mashiach said. Like the Mashiach said, I ain't come to do my own will. I came to do the Father's will. He's subjected to Him. We all are subjected to Him. Okay? And there's an order of subjects. Okay? But go ahead,
Verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
So it's telling you about rulers and stuff are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. So if you kings put through what they want done in their kingdom and stuff, okay? So if they have what's the word I'm looking for? If they have if they ordain something or they want something done, they pass a law in their kingdom, you have to follow that. If you don't follow it, there's consequences, just like here in so-called America. If you break one of their over 17,000 some odd different laws and stuff, and knowing this is a wicked type of place, if you break it, there's a consequence, okay? Whether it's jail, whether it's by death, or whatever the case may be, okay? You got to follow those, period. Same thing with the Most High. That's why the Most High said that's why the Mashiach said, give what's owed to the Most High, and then give what's owed to Caesar. Well, when he was explaining to the Pharisees at the time. Okay? So, just showing and prove here. But, and once again, what does this have to do with love? It's showing and prove that you have love. Love is an action and shows that you have respect. Okay? For whoever you're dealing with and things like that. Okay? So, it's just the carnal aspect that you're choosing the spirit to lead over your carnal. Okay? So right here, yes, we're dealing with the flesh. That's showing that you have love for that king. You want to honor them and so forth and so on. And the king will sit there and give you praise. Like it tells you back in Proverbs. Don't let your own mouth praise you up. Let others praise you up in things. To give credit where credit is due. That's what that's talking about right there. But go ahead, Ak.
For he is the minister of the Most High, to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
So, whether it's the king, whoever the Most High is showing to prove or allow him to be, whoever he chooses to shine his light through so you can get understanding and stuff, if you choose not to, whether it's a king, it doesn't matter. If it's a Gentile king, okay, the whole fact of the matter, the Most High set that individual up. Period. He has them over you for a reason. Okay? So you must do according to what's going on in that land because you are under that subject. That's the order. That's how the Most High wanted it to be. Okay? If that wasn't his order, then we'd be having our own place, our own land, and we wouldn't be dealing with nobody. We would be tributors. But obviously our people are being, tributors to all these other nations and things because of curses that our people continue to break until this day. Okay? So you have to understand there's an order. You have to follow rules regardless. Okay? But go ahead.
Verse 5. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay you tribute also. For they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor.
See that? So it's telling you right here, this is the order you need to follow regardless. You cannot fight against the system that the Most High had set up. You can't rebel against it unless the Most High allows you to happen. And right now, every time our people try to rebel against a specific system and stuff, it doesn't go well. You don't win. You don't have the technology. First and foremost, you don't even have the power on your side. Period.
Black Panthers tried it, didn't work.
Right. All these different movements and stuff that's going on, it don't work.
ISUPK.
Just stop. All this stuff don't work at all because you ain't dealing with the Most High. Individually, if you keeping them law, statute, and commandments, the Most High keeps you away from all of that stuff. And it's a fact. It's a known fact. I can bear witness to that every single day that I possibly can to show and prove that he has done these things. Yep. That he is with you.
Happens to me
all the time.
I'm away from that rubbish
and
negativity and
right, and whether if you deem that it's something bad, the fact is the Most High is chastising, like it says. He chastises the ones he loves. So he wants to see you do better. He wants you to change. There's something that he's not agreeing with within you that you keep messing up. So he's giving you time and he'll get at you. But the whole fact of the matter is he'll be with you. But these cats, all this movement stuff that's going on and stuff, you're trying to fight against the LGBT and all this pedophilia and cops killing our people and so forth and so on. You can't do nothing about it. Because all this marching and crying and things like that ain't going to do nothing. It's nothing. You ain't even try to pray unto the Most High to ask for this stoppage and stuff. But the issue is, you don't know what, a lot of our people be dealing with emotions and stuff. A lot of our people that's getting shot out here in the streets, a lot of times they're bringing that on themselves. It's not because of racism or whatever, frightened cops and things like that. A lot of people bring this down on themselves and things. And I'm willing to say it because I see it all the time. People trying to render good for evil and things like that. Nah, man, you can't do that. That's not righteous at all. If that person was wicked, that individual was wicked. It was his time that the Most High deemed, or her time the Most High deemed, to say, you're done. The ghost is the spirit is giving up. So a lot of times you guys be putting yourselves in situations that you don't even understand or what's going on. You're just seeing skin color. You're not trying nobody's spirit and stuff. Even without the Bible, you can't even. You have senses in you. There's like they like to say, frequencies and stuff. You could feel if somebody is good or somebody's bad.
Discernment.
Yeah, but you have to talk to them in their language because they don't understand what discernment may be and things like that on that level. They speak another language out here. They're talking about spirituality and frequencies and different dimensions and so forth. Vibes, yeah. So you speak that language to them so they can understand it when you're dealing with them like that. But just to show and prove, this is the problem. You need to be calling on the Most High and looking for how to serve Him and how to show Him love and things to get that type of protection and get away from all that stuff because He does do these things. So that's just showing and prove, but I didn't mean to ramp on, but go ahead, I.
Verse 8. Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
Has fulfilled the law. Show and prove once again. The two greatest commandments that the Mashiach said was to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. Guess what? That's not in the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments, it's not in there. Christ is quoting the laws of Moses. And it's not Moses' laws, it's the Most High. Once again, I'll say this again. Moses didn't spend 40 days and 40 nights on Mount Sinai writing only 10 Commandments. Okay? Fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. No food, no water. He wasn't writing only 10 Commandments. Okay? He was writing 10 Commandments and the rest of the laws that the Most High told him. Or, if you want to say in this sense, he was writing all the other commandments as well. So what he was quoting was, I think it was Deuteronomy 6 and 7, I believe it is, where it says to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. And then the second greatest commandment is like on to the first, to love thy brother or neighbor as thyself. These two commandments hang up all the laws and the prophets. Because the first, if you love the Most High, you're going to do exactly what He says to do, which is keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, and His ordinance, so forth and so on. And in the second, you're going to teach your brothers to do so as well, and your sisters to do so, your own people, because you want them to receive the same blessing and love and protection that the Most High has given you. You want it on for them as well.
And keeping those laws, you don't violate your sister and your brother.
Right, there you go. So that's what the gospel is about. The good news was Christ showed us the prophecy of Jeremiah 31 and 31 and the book of Hebrews 8 and 6, where it tells you the same thing of the prophecy, where it says that this is a new promise, a new covenant. That's what covenant means, a new promise, that He shall write His laws inside your heart and in your mind. This is why the Pharisees were astonished at what Christ was saying, because He didn't learn underneath them. Where did He get this stuff? How does He know these things? That's what Christ was trying to show and prove. We're not in that covenant yet. We're not in that new promise. We're working towards it, but we're not there yet. Because everybody, if you read the rest of that prophecy in Jeremiah 31 and 31 and Hebrews 8 and 6 all the way down, it tells you that every man shall not teach his brethren or his friends or his people how to love and know the Most High. We still got teachers out here. What do you think we're doing here? We're still trying to teach. So we're not in that prophecy yet. And I'll do a whole breakdown on that a little bit later on and things like that. But anyways, let's continue on.
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear any false witness, thou shalt not covet, and if there be any other commandment,
And if there be what?
any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbors as thyself.
If there be any other commandment, any other commandments,
Briefly.
Mm-hmm.
you still need to follow these laws.
And
you still need to follow these commandments.
And it was mentioning laws, not commandments, like bearing
Right.
false witness. That's a law, it's not a commandment.
Right. So, well, it is a commandment. It's there's the false.
Well, no,
right?
but the Christianity mindset. Well, follow only 10 commandments.
Yeah, and that's why I'm striving on this part right here where it says briefly, if there's any other commandments, besides the 10, that's letting you know right there, you still got to follow those regardless. Okay, and this is Paul's writings. He's in Rome at this time, people. Okay? So, it just shows and proves once again that you have to keep these laws. And that's showing love to the Most High. But good, continue.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
So, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling of the law. If that individual knows all the law, statute, commandments, and he's keeping them himself, he or she shows it on to their brother and stuff, that's showing love. It's going to fulfill all the laws. So therefore, you're not bounded to those laws anymore. Why? Because the law is for the lawless. You are bounded to a law because now you've broken it, you're cursed on it. And the only way to free that bondage is by not breaking that law anymore.
Repentance.
That's changing. Total show and improve right there. You guys don't, for my Christian brothers and sisters on here that watch this, you really need to study these laws before you try jumping into Paul's writings or even know what Christ has said or even what the prophets had said and things. You really need to study those laws. It's a must. Okay? But continue out.
And that, knowing the time, that know it is high time to awake out of the sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
So just showing to prove again, this goes back to Ezekiel of the time of the valley of the dry bones and stuff. The words that he was speaking is because what the Most High commanded him to speak, and those bones became flesh and all this and that and the other, and they became alive. This is what he's talking about right here. Okay? This is the word. It's speaking you to come out of your sleep. You're in a mentally dead grave. Okay? You're not conscious. You're still walking around like the dang zombies and stuff. Walking dead. You're not conscious of what's going on. You're awake, but you don't know what's going on. You're carnally waked. You're not spiritually woken.
Matrix,
right. The Twilight Zone. All those things. But continue, huh?
The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantons, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yeshua Christ, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust therefore.
So basically he's telling you, let's follow and do what the Mashiach did. Let's do what Yeshua did and stuff. Okay, let's put off the world and stuff. Let's follow and do what he did, because now he was trying to serve and follow the Most High, and he did it perfectly. So we need to do the same thing. If he wasn't eating any pork and things and shrimp, lobster, and crab, that means you don't eat it neither.
Yep.
He wasn't praying over no abominations and saying that the Most High blessed the abomination when he told us not to eat. Okay? He wasn't sitting here allowing gay men and gay women to come together and stuff in holy matrimony and things like that and come together and say, and blessing this marriage. No. Okay? These are all laws that this man was keeping, our brother. And we need to do the same thing. That's walking. That's what you would call Christ-like. Okay? So if you're going to walk like the anointed, okay, you need to become anointed. You need to become set apart, holy. Okay?
We do it for Jesus Christ.
But this is the thing, though. So we need to get understanding here. Let me see this pen real quick. Salakia, 1 second. I gotta mark this off so you know you're ready. So let's get some wisdom behind this before I get into the examples of how to show the actual love, because that's going to be the last part, and I'm gonna go into David and certain other prophets and things like that, and then that'll be the end of this lesson and things. But let's start. Let's jump to Let's jump to Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1 through 8. To have that understanding that, you know, you can't just keep loving. No, there's a cutoff point. Okay, you're abusing the word love and people's emotions behind it, because you've been taught a certain doctrine that has no understanding, and that's not what Christ was talking about. Okay? Ecclesiastes, what did I say, 3? Yeah.
3, verse 1 through 8.
Yep. Alright. Just let me know when y'all get there. Ecclesiastes. Alright, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up.
Well, hold it right there. It says a time to kill and a time to heal. Now, we read in the New Testament, it said, thou shalt not kill. Once again, it's not kill, it's murder. Okay? Thou shalt not murder. Murder is an unjust killing. When you kill something, if you go on to war and things like that, or to protect yourself, and somebody's trying to kill you, you end up killing them, you're not in wrong for what you did. That's not a sin. You protected yourself. Okay? To have that understanding, so because people are like, oh, people go to war and they're killing each other and things, they're breaking sins, they're in hell and so forth and so on. No. When you murder somebody, that's a sin. Okay? Mm-hmm. So abortion, so forth and so on, sin. All right? So I just wanted to clear that up, because when you read Joshua and everything, before we crossed over to Jordan, we were fighting all those other nations and killing them to get into that land and things like that because of the abominations they were doing. So did that mean Joshua, Caleb, and them were all sinners? No. There was war. Okay? So they're not murderers. All right? But go ahead, Art.
A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So that doesn't mean let's all sing kumbaya and hold hands and just love 24/7 non-stop 364 days in a year and stuff. No. There's a time to stop that. Nah, we gotta cut. Hey, I can't. We can't be doing this all the time. No. Okay? But go ahead, Art.
A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rent and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
A time to keep silence and a time to speak. There's times you should keep your mouth shut, and then there's a time you should say something.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the dang time. Okay? But go ahead.
A time to love and a time to hate.
A time to what?
A time to love and a time to hate.
A time to love and a time to hate.
But the Bible don't speak about hate.
All right. Well, we're reading what the word says. A time to love and a time to hate. So, in essence, you think Christ was loving those individuals when he, when he had to go back to the city where he performed the miracles, and then after they seen the miracles, they went back and started sinning again. Christ said that he had to go to that city, undo what he did, and woe that place. So wait a second. Is that still loving them? Or is that cutting them off? Or should I say hate for what they did? So the question is, if he was hating what they did and stuff, it's because they were disrespecting the Most High. They didn't love him. So if you love this world like he says, then the love of the Father is not in you. You should hate what's going on in this world. You should hate what's going on with what's been given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? You should hate this stuff. Now, it sounds like a strong word, something you shouldn't say, but trust. This is what the Most High is teaching us here. Okay? There's no way to spin this. This is not some what is it? Not allegory. Is it allegory? Or analogy? Yeah, excuse me. Analogy or whatever. This is not symbolic. How people try to twist this up. No, it means what it means. Okay? So it's a time to love and it's a time to hate. Just show and improve. Okay? You think when David and all these cats were going to war with these other nations, you think they were loving their enemy at that time? No. They were hating what they did because the Most High said, for I hate them. If the Most High hates what they're doing and all the abominations that they're doing, and I'm supposed to be his son, I'm going to hate the same thing.
Ride or die.
Right. So just showing and prove, there's a time and season for everything. So let's jump back. Let's jump now to Proverbs 19 and verse 8 to get some wisdom on a lot of this love and things, or understanding on what love is. 19 and verse 8. And the pages stuck together. Brand new book. Yeah. X's eyes. I hate that system. Jeez. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good.
He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. The Most High told us in Proverbs chapter 8 about chasing after wisdom, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. It's the Holy Spirit. She was there before the heavens and earth was even created. And anybody that wants to debate me on that think that the Most High was talking to the angels and stuff, no, he wasn't. Because the angels weren't even created until the sixth day. Yeah, the sixth day. Because, what is that? Was it the book of Jasher or the book of Jubilees? The book of Jasher, I think it was. It says that the Most High, Genesis in the original Bible and Genesis and Jasher are not the same thing. And people say that this is what's been taken out. But the question is, it's nothing I have against the books. I asked the question, who authorized these authors to publish and put out these books? How do we know? Where's the credentials? Where's the scrolls and stuff? Nobody has said anything. So this could be a person who's just making stuff up. If it's not in this book, this is why I strictly stay with the Bible and get that understanding, because in those 6 days, it never says in those 5 days, it never said the angels. As a matter of fact, man was created before the angels, because it says all the hosts of heaven, after the fact that the Most High said, let us create man in our image, was before he said on the 6th day. Then he finished creating all the hosts of everything that's in the heaven and that's in the earth. When you say hosts, it tells you, it says authorities, certain governors and things like that. It's talking about the angels. It's a fact. You can look it up in Hebrew, whatever you guys want. It's a known fact. But I'm proving that Proverbs chapter 8 was not an angel. It is the Ruach HaKodesh. It is the Holy Spirit. She was there, and I say she because this is the wisest man before Christ even came on the scene. This man knew a whole lot of different things than any other man on the face of the earth.
And she even says that she was with the Most High in Proverbs chapter 8.
Right. That she was there in the beginning.
It even says that men transgress against her.
Yeah. And why is that? Because she knows how to make the Abba, the Father, happy. She knows what makes him tick. Here's the love of it. So if you want to know and get comfort like she does, here, let her teach you how to love the Most High. And what is that? Here's all the words right here. This is show and proof how you can love the Most High. Not these books. This ain't going to teach you that. Well, to a certain extent. Not this book is going to teach you how to love him. Excuse me. Slakia.
You need a hand?
Yeah, I need a hand. This book is not going to teach you how to love him. Okay? But you guys strive on a lot of these books.
It gives you good bits and pieces of information, bro.
And yeah, it does. But it's not teaching. The Most High, when it's time to get judged, he's not going to ask you how many books you read outside the Bible. How many books have you read? How much knowledge did you acquire? That's worldly knowledge and stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, but that's not going to give you salvation. He's going to ask you, did you keep my law, statute, and commandments? Plain and simple.
Which ones?
Right. So I'm just saying, this is what you need right here. Exodus chapter 20, all the way to the book of Deuteronomy. All the laws are right there. Okay? That's what you need. That's your soul salvation right there. All the other books don't mean nothing. In a sense. I mean, yes, it gives history about our culture and what happened and so forth and so on, how these other nations lied, so forth and so on. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay? But it's not going to save you. Okay? The prophets, and I mean with all due respect, I'm not speaking against the heavenly Abba's servants, our ancestors and things like this. I don't dwell on the prophecies. I've said this in many other places before. Lessons before. I don't dwell on the prophecy. The prophecies are already told. All you got to do is sit back and watch. In the meantime, while you're sitting back and watching, you need to be learning those laws, statutes, and commandments and applying it to yourself diligently, meditating on it day and night.
And household.
Right. You don't have to be worrying about what goes on in little demon book, which I call Facebook, or Snapchat, or Instagram, or Twitter, and all these other dang distractions that go on in the world. You don't need to be worrying about that stuff.
To tell you the truth, I mean, I use it and all that, but to me, all that social media stuff, to me, it transgressed against the law about what is it, Leviticus 19 about gossiping.
Oh, you're talking about Exodus 23, where it speaks of following a multitude and a crowd to do, bear false witness, and that's the gossiping part. Well, verse 1 through 2, where and
it says something in Leviticus too. But hey, all that stuff you see it all in Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff,
yeah. But that's the whole purpose. Like I said, it's all the stuff is a distraction. You know what I'm saying? You're putting too much time and effort into what's going on now. Who can be seen, and making this status about yourself, making an image for yourself. Stop it. That's what you're getting distracted about, and that's why you ask dumb questions on the scriptures when the scriptures are plainly telling you this. And I'm not trying to knock anybody, but if you read the laws everything will become simple to you. Onto the simple. Okay? And I'm not talking like I'm above anybody or anything. It's just, to me, it's like a video game. I understand this. It's plainly to me. I know how to work this. You know? Because I really do be listening and following these laws and continue to keep following. Am I perfect in it yet? No, I'm not. But I'm the Most High knows I'm changing and I'm really putting forth the effort towards it. Okay? But go ahead, Ak. Let's get back to what was that Proverbs? We were in 19 and 8. So he that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. So you keep the understanding of what you learn, what the Ruach has showed you through the law, statute, and commandments and stuff. You'll get great rewards. You'll have thorough understanding of everything that comes on in life. But let's continue here. Let's jump to Proverbs, same chapter, Proverbs 19, verse 11. Okay, go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression.
So basically, let's look that word up. Discretion.
Discretion.
Or discretion. Hold on one second.
What is it?
So everybody can have some understanding of this.
Strong?
No, just
Dictionary.
regular dictionary. Oops.
Like perfect nice.
Slakia, y'all. 1 second.
You spelled it out. D-E-S.
Oh, my bad. I'm trying to hurry up and my bad. Slakia, y'all. My bad. Let me take my time. So, discretion or discretion. Discretion. It says individual choice or judgment left the decision to his discretion. But hold on, let me get the synonyms. It says discipline. For the synonyms, it's discipline, inhabitation, refrainment, repression, reserve, restraint, self-command, self-control, self-restraint, suppression. So with that being said, right there what we were reading, if you could have control over your anger, okay, you can overcome anything that can cause you to break the laws. You have to have control over everything. Oh, here, read it. EZEKIEL in the Hebrew. Same thing. Understanding, from understanding knowledge, his policy, discretion, the sense, the wisdom to his insight, wisdom with insight with prudence. So, control. And this is what you have to have control over self. Because it's like Scripture says, it's okay to be angry, but don't let your anger suffer you to wrath. Because when you wrath and stuff, anything can happen. And you could lose your life. You could take somebody's life. You could do something stupid and it ain't yourself. And you open up a hole for sin to get in there. For, Satan or whatever little demon that's been commanded to wait for that opportunity to get you.
$50.
Right, the $50. But yes, and it's his glory to pass over a transgression. So when you can overcome this and you see it was just a second or something that was really minor, you overcame it and stuff. And you'll feel a whole lot better. And you'll see the reward and the glory for that. Okay? Verse 12, Proverbs 19, verse 12.
Verse 12. The king's wrath is a roaring of a lion, but his favor is to dwell upon the grass.
Is as dew
upon the grass. Salakia.
The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is dew upon the grass. We just read back in Romans and Romans. If you follow what that king says and stuff, guess what? You're in his good graces. Okay? So with that being said, he's gonna bless you with whatever it may be. Oh, what a good servant you were, or whatever. what's the word they use? Not citizen. With a good citizen.
Law-abiding citizen.
Right, a law-abiding citizen. Okay? So that's showing love once again. Love is an action which brings respect, honor, praise, so forth and so on. That's shown and proved with wisdom here. Well, in Proverbs, excuse me. But let's get the next verse, verse 13.
A foolish son is a calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping.
So, from a carnal aspect of this, a foolish son is a calamity of his father, meaning the destruction of his father. So, what are you destroying? You're destroying whatever goodness your dad may have. This is what goes into breaking honor, the commandment, honor thy father and thy mother. Okay? So you're doing all this stuff to be destructive towards your dad and things. And it also says, excuse me, first let me break this down. A foolish son is a calamity of his father. So now in the spiritual aspect, we are sons and daughters of the Most High. We have his name. Well, we're supposed to have his name written in us. We're a representation of the Most High. But if you're constantly messing up and breaking law, statute, commandments, your image that's out here in the world, they see that, they're giving our power, our God, a bad name. Okay? So you're giving the Most High a bad name because basically you're making his name without any value. His existence without any value, without any worth. Okay? On the spiritual aspect of it. And it says a continual a contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. So basically, on a carnal, you have a wife that constantly is always nagging at you about this, that, and the other, and not even in the truth of what she's nagging about, or just to be nagging at you and stuff. It's irritating. You just want to leave. Well, sometimes nowadays, that's where the anger comes, and then the wrath comes because you don't have control over your anger. You let the wrath take over you. Now you did something stupid. You didn't beat her up and stuff. Now you sitting in jail, or you beat her to death and things.
She'll beat you up.
Right, or she's gonna beat you up. So yes, because this happens because this system is based on the women. Mm-hmm. It's a fact. So they can get away with putting their hands on you 24/7. The moment you do this to her, you're going to jail. You can just flick her and you going to jail.
You can flick a bird.
Look at the red mark on him. He hit me. Sir, get on your hands and knees right now. Put your hands behind your back. Stop resisting and tase the hell out of you or put you to death. And then she's going to be crying out, why'd you kill? That don't make no sense. Stop. Don't. That's why it tells you to even leave a house and not even to be with them type of women and things. Okay? But anyways, now that's the carnal aspect. Now on the spiritual, the Most High called us his wife. He is the husband. So if Israel, being the wife, is continually to keep doing things to disobey her husband, what the Most High wants to do? Sign a divorce paper. Bye-bye. And guess what? There's 2/3 of a divorce paper that's coming to Israel. Or, excuse me, a divorce paper that's coming to 2/3 of Israel. It's a fact. That's why I said the Most High is polygynous. He has many wives in Israel. You can't count the number of souls that's in Israel. And if you did, you'd be breaking another law just like David did once when he counted all the people of Israel. You weren't supposed to do that. Okay? For his name is written in those that are following his law, statute, commandments. It's written in the Old and told in Revelations. Okay? So if you guys want to think that's wrong with what I'm saying, so be it. That's your opinion. I can back it up with facts. There's many wives in Israel. The Most High is polygynous, period. And he brings in the Gentiles too. So not only does he love Israel, he also loves the Gentiles as well. Facts. So when I do this polygyny lesson on that, I'm going to bring that in. But anyways, so the spiritual aspect, Israel is the wife. We're not doing stuff where we're disobeying him. We're not being subjective. We're not being submissive to him and things like that. We're just going to do whatever the heck we want to do and stuff. And this is why we're ending up the way we're ending up. Okay? Curses on us. But let's continue. Verse 14.
Verse 14. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord.
So house and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Most High. So basically, and I asked my wife this earlier, but I was just wanting to see what her answer was and things too. And when I was looking at this, excuse me, if you look at this on a spiritual aspect, nothing against my wife, I'm just saying, if we're looking on the spiritual aspect of this, the house for us is the world. For Israel, we have the whole house, and there's many riches in there. This is what the Father is putting up for us to inherit. So the land of Israel, before we even came into the land of Canaan, it was an inheritance for us because the Most High wanted it to be. So this is what the Father is doing to the children, which is Israel, for us to have. Okay? He's laying this up for you. And to show and prove with the wife, it says, and a prudent wife is from the Most High. Well, guess what? Now, Cass may disagree with me on this, whatever. I believe that the Ruach HaKodesh is the Most High's wife. And why I say that is because the order in the beginning, when you read Genesis, it says the Most High, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. The earth was without form and void. And the spirit of the Most High, when you look up that word spirit, it's Ruach. That's the Ruach HaKodesh was on the face of the earth. This backs up Proverbs chapter 9. It's a she. And then, Proverbs 8, the water. And then it says, let there be light. Now, some argue this or whatever, fine, whatever. I believe that the light was the Mashiach. So if we're made in their images and there's no angels up there yet, then what image are we made in? There's an image of a man, there's an image of a woman, and there's an image of a child. We have those three in that order. Man, woman, then child. Now, I'm saying the Most High slept with the Ruach and things like that. No, I did not say that. I'm not teaching that. I'm just saying I believe that in this type of order, that's how we came to this earth. And this is how we're supposed to be in that order, how we're supposed to maintain and conduct ourselves in. Okay? So when he says that, and a prudent wife is from the Most High, he says that he sent the Ruach down here to be, she loves to dwell with the children, the sons of men. So we're supposed to chase after her because the wife is trying to teach us, how to love the Most High. Okay? So on that aspect, I just look at it, some may say a different way or look at it another point of view. Maybe something I didn't see. You know what I'm saying? But from what I see right there and that understanding, that's how I see it. Okay? But let's continue here. Let's get verse 14.
15.
15, we just read 14.
Oh, I'm sorry, Salaki. Yeah, 15, Salaki.
Verse 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger.
So slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. There's that old saying, you don't work, you don't eat. A closed mouth, don't eat. Okay? All these things right here is telling you slothfulness. If you are being lazy and on a carnal aspect in time today, if you being slothfulness, meaning lazy, you don't want to work, you don't want to do nothing, you're not going to survive out here. You have to work. And if you don't do these things, then guess what? You're going to end up dying, or you're going to end up breaking other laws and things that put more curses on you and so forth and so on.
Like stealing and stuff like that.
And it says, an idle soul shall suffer hunger. First and foremost, the hunger that you're supposed to have for your soul is the word, which is the law, statute, and commandments. This is what feeds you. Okay? That's what they were eating when the manna was coming out of the sky for our ancestors that was in the desert. Okay? But that was a representation of the book. This is what we're supposed to be eating. If you're not reading this for yourself, then you're going to become hungry. Okay? So you need to read this for yourself. It's for your soul. So you're eating. Okay? And especially when you're fasting with no food or no water, the days that you sit and things, if you're reading this, it takes your mind off of all of that. You're not worried about food. You're not worried about water. Okay? So you're eating a spiritual food. That's spiritual bread. Okay? But anyways, let's continue here. Verse 16.
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
He said what?
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul. Go ahead.
But he that despiseth his ways shall die.
So if you don't keep the commandments, you're going to die. All right? Plain and simple.
Straight up like that.
Did it say which commandment? No, it didn't.
Did it say 10 commandments?
Did it say the 10 commandments? Did it just say the laws of Moses?
It said commandment.
It says commandment. It didn't specify which one. So if it doesn't specify which one, then guess what?
It means all of them.
You better try to keep. You better be keeping every single one of them to the best that you can. Okay. Well, some will say, "Well, it doesn't say to the best that you can." Okay. Well, keep them all. Change. Practice makes perfect. Again. But go ahead, verse 17.
Verse 17. He that hath pity upon the poor leadeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again.
So all this stuff has to do with love once again. I know I've been ranting and breaking some stuff down here, but it still has all things to do with love. Okay? So showing love onto the poor, like it tells you in the law, don't despise or laugh a man that's poor while he's poor in his in his condition and things. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to help them out. Give them clothes or something. Let them borrow it for the day or whatever. Or if you have it, just give it to them. That's love. Okay? So if you give on to the poor and anybody that's in need, guess what? The Most High sees that. He's going to give it back on to you. And guess what? Not only he gives it back to you, but he gives an abundance of it back to you. And you just didn't do it for likes and stuff like I see on YouTube. Cats or on Little Demon Book. Cats are filming themselves giving hundreds of dollars to the poor. Got food to the poor. And giving them cars to the poor. Dude, you don't do that. You're supposed to do the stuff in secret.
Mm-hmm. It says it in Matthew 5:48, I believe.
I think.
No.
Nah. But just show and improve. That's what you're supposed to do, okay? That's still love. Everything I'm bringing out here is all about love still. Okay? But go ahead, verse, what was that, 17? Verse 18.
Verse 18?
Yep.
Verse 18. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare from his crying.
So, chastising your son, meaning discipline them. Don't worry about them crying and stuff. No. Don't let that cry get to you like you're sparing them. That's why I tell you, while there's still hope.
Grace, while there's still hope.
Right.
Grace period.
A grace period, while there's still hope. If you ain't got that hope, I mean, you could hang it up. It's not, no matter what you do, it's done. They're not going to turn back. This is why it tells you back in the law to teach your sons and your sons' sons to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Start them from that early age so they keep this going all the way up. Okay? So you're supposed to whoop your children, discipline them so they understand why, and also make them understand why. That's the carnal aspect. The spiritual aspect, the Most High chastises the ones he loves. He chastises us because he loves us. So he's trying to discipline us. Even though it might be hard for us and we feel like the Most High ain't on our side and things, he's not trying to do nothing. Yes, he is. Stop giving up hope on him. Okay? Remember, he's an elder. He's the elder of elders. We don't work on our own time. He don't work on our time. We work on his time. Okay? So stuff ain't going to come to you just like that. Just like when the disciples asked Christ, when they thought the kingdom was supposed to just come just like that. No. It's time. It's patience. Endurance. Once again. But let's get the next one. verse
19.
verse 20.
20?
Yep.
Verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end.
In the latter end. Hear counsel and receive instructions, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Mm-hmm.
So surround yourself with wise counsel, good, righteous individuals and stuff. People who's not always trying to debate you on X, Y, and Z and things like that. Stop sitting yourself around sinful individuals. Light has nothing to do with darkness. Darkness has nothing to do with light. Separate yourself from that. Okay? It's going to do you good in your later days. I'm blessed to see the age of 34 as a so-called black man. A lot of our people don't even hit the age of 17. They dead already. Okay? So it's a blessing to have, well, you've probably seen it on other videos, but I got grays all over. You know? So, you know, that's what we need to talk. I don't know why Elder cover up his mouth. He got gray. You know, it's a good thing. It's a blessing, you know. So it shows that an individual has some form of wisdom and some understanding and some knowledge, because they're blessed to see the age that they're at, the days that they've went throughout their whole life and things.
It's like a Boy Scout patch.
Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, facts. But let's continue. Verse 21 out.
Salakia.
1921.
Yeah.
21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand.
So there are many devices in a man's heart. So in the mind, trust me. There's still days that I do that, and I know I shouldn't be doing it. But when people really be pissing me off and think they get away with it and things like that, it does irk me to the point where I start masterminding everything that I possibly can to get back at you in a perfect way.
Mm-hmm.
And knowingly it would work. That's the mindset that this is talking about. You're not supposed to have that. But what keeps that in check and stops me from doing that is the Most High's law, statute, and commandments. Because if I wanted to execute these things, I would have done so a long time ago. Okay? So this is why you need that that counsel of the Most High that shall stand. And trust me, it stands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's the Most High's law, statute, commandments. Who he used the Spirit through all brothers and sisters to help you with that as well. That's why you need specific individuals around in your life. Okay?
Can I share that? I found that scripture about people recording themselves, and
Yeah.
I already found it. I mean,
Go ahead.
I don't want to go back mind tracking it, but this is the book of Matthew chapter 6. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which is seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly.
Mm-hmm.
For the homeless, all the videos that they were showing.
Yeah. Yep. Anybody else want to add something on to that real quick? I'm looking up something. Salakia, y'all.
I could keep on going. It says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter in thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Right. And to back that up, what he was saying, real quick, hold this. Go to Proverbs 27 and verse, let's say 1 and 2. Yeah, go.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Proverbs 27, 1 and 2. It says, "Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and let not thine own mouth a stranger, and not thine own lips." So just showing to prove this is what the Mashiach was talking about. Okay? That's why I say a lot of the stuff that he's saying in his parables is plain, because I study. Okay? But anyways, let's jump back to
Proverbs 19.
you know what? Yeah, let's finish this out. What was that? 23? No. Yeah.
21.
When you read it.
21.
22.
No. Verse 23 now. Yeah. Verse 23. I'll skip it.
Yeah, but I didn't read 22.
No, I don't want to read 22.
No.
Yeah.
Verse 23 on Proverbs chapter 19. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied.
So, the fear of the Most High tendeth to life, and he that has it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. So, showing and prove once again, if you fear the Most High, how to fear him is by showing the love that you have for him, which is what, once again, keeping his law, statute, commandments, and his ordinances. Okay? That's how you're showing that you have fear for him. And once you do that, then you don't have to worry about everything else touching you, messing with you, nothing. He's protecting you. It's a fact. Like he tells you in the book of Psalms. Okay? But go verse 25.
Verse 25. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware.
Now, smite a scorner, and a simple will beware. A scorner is basically somebody who's mocking you, this, that, and the other, whatever. They're lying up there and things like that. Yeah, you punch that individual, and all the simple people will be like, "Oh, we ain't gonna mess with him. We ain't gonna scorn him like that dude just got done mocking." Yeah, that happens. But it says, "Smite a scorner, and simple will beware." And reprove one that has understanding, and he will understand knowledge. So this goes back into the whole, if somebody hits you on one cheek, turn the other cheek and let them hit the other one. This was not talking about getting beat up when the Mashiach was saying this. This was basically saying, like, okay, if this person's scorning you, reason with them first. Tell them, give them an ear, like, hold on, okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're making fun of us, so forth and so on. You know the reason why we're wearing this or why we're saying this and things like this. And they may say, well, no, I don't. Why you guys saying this? Okay, now you open up. Now let me give you some understanding why we do this and so forth and so on, which may lead to another question and into another question. Now you taken out that scorner from mocking you to actually asking you questions to get some understanding. Now that they get understanding, maybe they may go back and be like, you know what, my bad, y'all. I didn't mean to make fun of y'all, man. I didn't even know. Okay? I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I see, I see all your brothers and sisters, or your brothers out here doing all this wicked stuff. They cussing out everybody and so forth and so on. I didn't know. Because I'm thinking you all are the same. You claim you black Hebrew Israelites. I'm thinking you guys are all the same. See? That's what that was talking about. And to prove that real quick, jump to, go to Matthew 5 and 38. You know what? I tell you what. We'll stop right there because I'm already over an hour. We'll stop right here. I'll pick up back on. I'll expound on what I'm talking about here because I'll show you what the Mashiach was talking about turning the other cheek and so forth and so on. It's not talking about let somebody just stand there. You stand there and let them beat the hell out of you. That's not what it means. Okay? It's about disrespecting. Show love will overcome that disrespect. Because once again, and like I said, I'll get into it, because in the book of Luke, it tells you that the Mashiach said, now, those that don't have a sword, go sell all your garments and go buy you a sword. So if he's telling you to let somebody beat you and stuff, why would he turn around and tell you, okay, go buy you a sword to protect yourself? That doesn't make sense.
In case he comes back to beat you again.
Right. But it's like, dude, the breakdown of it it's like I said, you'll see it on the next lesson on part 5, okay? But anyways, I hope you guys got some more knowledge and wisdom and understanding. I hope whatever I can put out here really helps you in your walk, that changes your mindset, how you deal out here, that the what I'm doing to show and prove to, the Most High, our Heavenly Abba, and I say Ahaya, and through His Son and the Ruach, that everything, I hope that is guiding me, they're guiding me, and I can put out more words and doing it all for righteousness. And I'm not being used as a tool for wickedness, because I don't want to have a reprobated mind, and I don't want to be out here, thinking I'm doing good and really I'm not, So I hope that these words and everything, that these lessons we put out can help you guys and, remold your mind and stuff in your spirit and your body and things, for the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I'm Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Yosef.
And we'll see you guys next time. Shalom, Yashala, and world.
Shalom.
And we'll see you later.